Hello, my name is Sarah and I'm an English teacher in the UK. I have lots of students who are drivers for Amazon, and these students have to ask customers for ID. Now, I know this can be a very difficult thing to do in English. So this video lesson is for delivery drivers living in the UK who need to ask for ID from their customers. So I'm going to talk you through a PowerPoint. I'm going to give you some language for all customers, for customers who are a little bit angry, and also for very, very difficult, angry customers. I'm going to show you the pronunciation of the most important phrases, and I'm going to give you some tips on how you can manage very difficult customers. So let's get started. So first of all, why? Why do you need to ask for ID in the UK? In the UK, some items are age restricted, and an item that is age restricted can only be bought by people over a specific age. So an example is alcohol. Alcohol can only be bought by people who are 18 and over. Also, cigarettes, scissors, and kitchen knives can only be bought by people over 18. If you sell an age-restricted item to someone who is underage, you could lose your job. You might have to pay a fine, maybe £5,000. Now, you don't want this to happen. This is not good for you. So you must always ask for ID when you are selling an age-restricted item. The problem is that some people do not like to be asked for ID. Maybe they don't understand why you are asking for ID, and they could become very angry with you. So this is all about being polite and asking for ID politely, and I'm going to share 5 tips on how to manage angry people. And a few new words: age restricted. Only people of a certain age or older can buy this. A fine, this is money you pay when you do something wrong. And ID, this is identification. Usually in the UK, it's a passport or a driving license. Okay, so step 1, asking for ID. Now, you maybe arrive at a customer's house and in the parcel is some alcohol. So you need to see the customer's ID. When the customer opens the door, you can see that she is older than 18. Maybe it's me buying alcohol. And I'd like you to pause the video. Think what you can say to this customer. When you are ready, start the video again. So here are 3 phrases. You only really need one phrase because they kind of mean the same thing. So, number one, hello, you have an age restricted item in your delivery. Please, can I see some ID? Number two, hello, please, can I see some ID? You have an age restricted item in your parcel. So, these ones, we just change the order in the sentences. And number three is nice and short and easy. Hi, I need to see some ID before I can give you your parcel. So let's look at an example conversation. Hello, you have an age restricted item in your delivery. Please, can I see some ID? Of course, let me go and get my driving license. Oh, that's great. Thanks very much. Here's your parcel and have a great day. Thanks. So, in this conversation, the customer is very, very helpful and friendly, and that's lovely. But not all customers are this friendly. On the next page, we'll look at dealing with difficult customers. So, same situation, you ask for the ID. You think you are being polite, but the customer becomes angry. You have to see the ID before you can give them their parcel. So, three more useful bits of language. I'm sorry, but I have to ask for ID. If I don't ask you for ID, I could lose my job. So in this one, you are, I guess, hoping they will sympathize and understand you. You need your job. You don't want to lose your job. So please, can I see your ID? Number two, I'm sorry, but I have to see your ID. It's the law to ask for ID for age restricted items. Now, if something is the law, it means you must do it or you will be breaking the law. You will be in trouble. So, for example, in England, you mustn't drive over 30 miles an hour in a town. It's the law. In England, you must wear a seatbelt when you are driving. It's the law. You mustn't use a mobile phone and drive your van because if you do this, you will break the law. And number three, I'm sorry, but I can't give you your parcel if I don't see your ID. It's a legal requirement. And this means exactly the same as this. This and this are the same. So let's look at a conversation. Hello, you have an age restricted item in your delivery. Please, can I see some ID? Why do I need to see your ID? I'm not under 18. Oh, I understand, but I have to ask for ID. If I don't see your ID, I could lose my job. It didn't mention this on the website. It's the law to show ID for age restricted items. All right, I'll get my ID. So in this conversation, the customer is angry because they don't understand why they need to get that ID. When they learn it's the law, they don't really want to, but they go and get the ID. And on the next page, we'll look at dealing with very, very angry customers. Okay. So same situation, but this time the customer becomes very, very angry. And maybe you are scared and you don't know what to do. Here's some language. I'm afraid I have to see your ID before I can give you your parcel. Now, this here, I'm afraid, um, it's a it's a way of being very polite. It's like saying, I'm sorry, but I'm going to give you bad news. So I'm afraid I have to see your ID. Number two, I understand this is an inconvenience for you, but I'm afraid I must see your ID before I can give you your parcel. So here you are sympathizing with the customer. If you say, oh, I understand, the customer can feel like you are their friend, not their enemy. Number three is a nice, easy one. I'm really sorry, but I cannot give you your parcel if I don't see some ID. And number four, if the customer says, I'm going to complain, well, if you want to complain, that's okay, but I can't give you your parcel. So let's look at an example conversation. Hello, you have an age restricted item in your delivery. Please can I see some ID? Why do you need to see ID? I'm not under 18. I understand, but I have to ask for ID. If I don't ask for you for ID, I could lose my job. I'm 54. Why should I show you ID? I'm afraid I have to see your ID before I can give you your parcel. Oh, God, this is stupid. I'm not going to show you my ID. I'm going to complain. I understand this is an inconvenience for you. If you want to complain, that's okay. So this customer is an angry customer, and it's not nice to deal with angry customers. Really, though, we don't know why they are angry. Maybe they are having a bad day. Maybe they are not nice people. But you need to always be polite, but also very firm. So here are some tips for dealing with angry customers. Number one, very important, you must stay calm. Don't get angry. Number two, use polite language. Please, I'm afraid, I'm really sorry, but. Number three, don't allow the customer to control the situation. Number four, follow the rules and protocols of your company. Your company will tell you what to do. You must do this. If you do this, this can help you to control the situation. And finally, do not give the customer their parcel. If they want to complain, that's their choice. Don't give them the parcel. So here's the useful language again. So this is for all customers. The red bits are the most important. If your English level is very, very low, just learn the red vocabulary. Please, can I see some ID? You have an age restricted item in your parcel. I need to see some ID. When you have a more difficult customer, use these three. Again, the most important language is in red. I'm sorry, but I have to ask for ID. It's the law. And dealing with the very, very angry customers, remember the red is the most important. I'm afraid I have to see your ID. If you want to complain, that's okay. So if you can, take a picture of this page. Learn the red words first. If your English level is higher, you can learn the blue words too. The red words are the most important words. So I hope that's useful for you. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave a message below. I'm always happy to help you. My name is Sarah. I'm an English teacher and a language anxiety coach, and I help people like you overcome the fear of speaking and using English. Thank you for watching this video lesson.